With 38 years in power, those who are poor should be able to see light and come out of poverty. Okiswa said all the 32 parishes in Arua district have all received the shillings 100 million, with a directive for each beneficiary to receive at least shillings 1 million for a guided agricultural production.
What next is poverty must be eradicated, and that is now the country we all cherish. A country where there is no poverty anymore, that the 39% of the poor that have now been targeted by the parish development model should be seeing light very, very soon, light of happiness. The darkness of poverty should be gone, and the light of happiness is what is now to start prevailing. Because like Arua district, we received the parish development funds in billions, and now we have already disbursed all the 100 million which is meant per parish. We have 32 parishes, and they have all received the 100 million with a directive to give each beneficiary at least 1 million.
Boniface Alioni, the NRM Vice Chairman Arua, is pleased with the democratic grounds provided for the people to elect leaders of their interest. Citing improved infrastructure, Alioni says the challenge remains for the government to fight corrupt officials who deprive the people of better service delivery.
And one of our key challenges as NRM has remained corruption. The corruption in the government is still very, very high. I think we have put, as a ruling party, we have put very good energy in building the security. But now we need to mobilize another energy in combating corruption. There is corruption from the top. The top I mean in here is right from the cabinet, parliament, actually everywhere. Of recent, just last week, here in Arua district, an officer was arrested for picking what does not belong to him. So, meaning that corruption is a big challenge. Without corruption, I strongly believe we will have reached far, and we will have done a lot more than what we have done.
Meanwhile, Moses Obeta, the chairman, Business Community Arua, applauds the government for maintaining peace and security of the country, which has enabled conducive platform for business to operate. He, however, calls on government to ensure investors do not take over the business for retailers and other small suppliers.
By 2030, we expected most Ugandans to be in the middle income range, but we don't know if this can be true. If you see in the current business environment, so many people are dropping out. So many people are losing capital. So many people are losing businesses. Why? Because of unfavorable competition that we have in the business environment. You realize in the business environment, we have the so-called investors who come in here. They own the factory. They are the distributors themselves. They are the retailers themselves. They're moving all around. And these are the same products that our community is able to consume. You now wonder what exactly is happening and how we'll be able to survive in this government. In the next 5-10 years, if we are not careful, most of the indigenous people will be knocked off businesses.
Ronald Debo, the chairman, Chamber of Commerce, Arua City, commends the government for fighting numerous wars in northern Uganda, which has provided good trading grounds for the people in West Nile region.
But the challenges are still there. As we said, infrastructure, the road is a problem. Industrial power, they have to do it. They have to maintain this security. This security, you can't say you have achieved security, you go and sleep. It is a continuous process. So they have to ensure that this security remains okay. The ADF should not reach our area. They should be contained and sorted out. And then the cost of credit, as I said, they should make us to do business with an ease. To bring investors, the Ministry of Investment and Privatization should bring investors in West Nile so that we can partner, they can do acquisitions and mergers, so so that we do business in a bigger way.
The Member of Parliament for Arua Central Division, Jackson Lee Buti Atima, is pleased with boosted economy and improved infrastructure, development and security in the East African community, championed by the NRM government.
Electricity coverage has grown tremendously, with a few areas and one region, West Nile, not connected to the national grid. So we are working around the clock with government to ensure that this region gets connected to national grid, and government is at it. Works are up to 98%. That small percentage of finishing things here and there is about to be accomplished. Before this year ends, West Nile will be lit to national grid, which will now spur development, which will attract industrialization in the region, which will create jobs for our youth and women in this region. So as far as electricity is concerned, we are well to go. Road network, a few areas where road got dilapidated, it's being worked on. We are moving together with the government, advocating that this be fixed. So far, NRM is on the right course.
He talked about one of the resources which we have is the oil and gas. And he mentioned that many people want he called them the imperialists, people who have an imperialist spirit, who want us not to refine our oil, who want us to just export crude oil. And our leader has said no. He's saying the wealth from the oil will come to this country. And he highlighted that we're getting now a new source of income which can help us solve a number of problems, And I believe that the issues of road network and some of those others which haven't yet been dealt with will be dealt with some of these new resources that will be coming to the country.
Ham Ezama Muzamil, the Deputy Resident City Commissioner Arua, notes that small pockets of insecurity caused by thugs and evasion of tax by smugglers affects service delivery.
Only that a few business members in the community, they don't want to impress willingness in paying the taxes and so on. That's why you see the struggle with the URA team, like issues of smuggling and so on. When people start evading taxes, it also affects the service delivery.
West Nile became part of Uganda in 1914 from the then Boga Zaire, but faced numerous insurgencies that have been fixed, and this largely has been attained under the NRM government in power for the last 38 years. Report compiled by Robert Ariaka for the news.